Dungeons & Dragons has been called the most effective introduction to the occult in the history of man.
Dungeons & Dragons is a real serious problem.
What does that mean?
This is the teaching of the occult. This is exactly what we were introduced into in Star Wars and E.T.
Boy, where'd he take cheerful lessons?
No place.
Young people's imaginations have become the battlefield. Whatever gets their imagination gets their worship. Whatever gets their worship gets their heart.
I wouldn't say that.
In some of those, it was clearly the decisive element. In other ones, it was just a major element in the thinking of the people at the time they committed suicide or murder.
Something tells me these guys are about as smart as they are handsome.
For instance, one case, the parents saw their child summon Dungeons & Dragons demons into his room before he killed himself.
No way.
You can't change it. If it's the truth, you can't change it. I mean, children are dying, Ed. Children are dying out there, and people are not telling.
And the list goes on.
Dungeons & Dragons. The reason they are bothered is because they believe the game has been involved in a number of murders and suicides across the United States and now in Canada.
Police are blaming D&D.
Come on, this is a joke, right?
You're leaving the world of reality into the world of fantasy. It advocated murder, decapitation.
Not a chance. That guy's cracked.
They are kids like yours, like the ones in your neighborhood. Kids who are turning to darkness because society has shut God out.
Nearly moment by moment, young people are bombarded by distorted visual images and twisted music messages that are saturating their minds and, yes, sabotaging their futures. Satan's target.
You gotta be kidding.
And they have complete descriptions of how to cast spells and how to contact powerful spirits and how to use these spirits and these powers to overcome, obviously, evil or good.
Fool. Why do kids kill themselves? Teenagers, it's perhaps the most prevalent cause of death among teenagers is suicide. But few people want to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, our children are at risk. There's all kinds of demonic games they played. It used to be Dungeons & Dragons. They got some new ones now.
I don't think so.
Some of you watching this program say, listen, this stuff, they're just games. Dungeons & Dragons, they're just games. These rock musicians, it's just a song, it's games. The cartoons, they're just sort of make-believe. Are they really things like demons? Well, the answer is you better believe it.
Hey, great story there, but I didn't come to listen to fairy tales.
Suicide into